Hey there, this is Greg, the Masked Gamer, and I'm back with Season 3, Episode 2 of Cthulhu Death May Die, Fear of the Unknown. For those of you who are new to my channel, this is a place for COVID-cautious folks to talk about board games. You are perfectly welcome to be here even if you are not COVID-cautious, provided there is no minimization, denialism, or harassment of any kind. With that said, I am going to remove my mask. I know it looked like I was doing a strip tease there, but I wasn't, because I am filming by myself today. So a few things. It is early in the morning, so you're seeing the sun come in through the windows that are way too high up to reach and put any kind of curtains on. This is just going to be how it is. I'm also going to be talking super fast today because I have exactly an hour and 16 minutes to get this done. But we're going to be doing Season 3, Episode 2, which is entitled The Isle of the Damned. A storm is brewing on a small isle near Venice, and thunder drowns out the cries of those called insane by those who could not see the true horrors that lurk beneath. Once a place of treatment, this hospital has become a prison. Doctors and guards mere excuses for cultists and torturers, madness used as fuel for nefarious intentions. Locked doors, I hate locked doors in Arkham games, but anyway, locked doors must not stop you, and unusual allies can be found in darkened corridors and forgotten rooms. You must break free before their ritual is complete, even if the whispering shadows become too much to hear. Don't believe for a second what the doctors tell you. The monsters are real, and they are getting close. Our three investigators today are Miss Sally Withers. Sally Withers is from New York, New York, where I lived for many, many years. Smile big, Mr. Monster. Wow, too many teeth. I have a New Jersey accent. In real life. Not in New York. Anywho, as one of the only war correspondents in the trenches during the Great War, Sally had the harrowing duty of photographing that brutal conflict up close. As such, she became well acquainted with death to such a degree that it threatened to extinguish her own smile permanently. But that was before she found a new calling. One might think finding a terrifying, horrific world looking beneath our own would be even more traumatic, but for Sally it restored her faith in humanity. Turns out we are not the worst things out there. Well, that would come as a surprise to me. Sally will be dressed in all black. Here is her cute little miniature over here. And she has arcane mastery and toughness, and her special ability is avid photographer. Whenever an investigator leaves her space, she may follow. On level 2, other investigators in her space get a green. On level 3, when another investigator in her space rests, she may heal 3 wounds or stress in any combination. And finally, once per turn, you or an investigator in your space may perform a free action. So she's a super duper supporty type character, tankish, toughy, yada yada. Then we have Miss Agatha May. Miss Agatha May hails from Chicago, Illinois. I learned to shoot when people wouldn't stop calling me Aggie. Agatha is part of a large crime family, although she's given up her title as heir apparent. She doesn't want to run the business while she's got eldritch horrors to put down. The eggheads and bookworms in business are very good at their jobs, but not always good in a fight. Agatha is very good in a fight. As such, she's happy to be simple muscle and maybe sometimes help the scholars do the occasional bit of less than legal acquisition for their research. Oh, and if you value your skin intact, do not never, ever call her Aggie. She's got marksman and stealth, and also, once per turn when attacking, she may take 1 stress to deal 1 additional wound. Level 2 of her killer instinct is when using this skill, deal an additional wound, so 2 total. Level 3 of her killer instinct, you don't need to take stress when using this skill. And level 4, instead, all of your attacks deal 2 additional wounds. So she is a shooter, monk, pumpkin ooter. Finally, we have Jakub Peters from Poland. Learning how to heal also teaches us how to harm. The bad guys, that is. Peters was a doctor at a mental institution, though not a psychologist. Any place that houses wards of the state needs a physician and a surgeon on hand. Luckily, Peters does both. But more and more, the ravings coming out of some patients' mouths began to make some sense. He started to worry about his own mental health until he discovered that a cult had taken control of the facility. When they came for him, he was ready. He has sworn an oath to do no harm, but he doesn't feel that applies to cultists and monsters. He has brawling and swiftness, and for his special ability, he is a surgeon. Whenever he kills an enemy, he can heal 1 stress or wound of an investigator in his space, it may be himself, Level 2, instead of 1, heal the total health of the killed enemy and combine any combination. Level 3, you may divide this amongst you and investigators within one space. And then finally, level 4, instead, you and each investigator within one space heal the total amount. So we are a group that will stick together. This is Agatha's little miniature. This is Peter's little miniature. And I forgot their cards. So, Sally, all of her trauma has given her hallucinations. If there are no monsters in her space, she will move the nearest monster to her space. Otherwise, she will move one monster 1 or 2 spaces away. And she has a lucky coin, which will give her 1 free reroll per turn. Agatha has autophobia. If there's at least one other investigator in her space, she will heal all of her stress. Otherwise, she will take 2 stress, then heal 1 for each companion she has. She is scared of being alone. And she has an ancient idol. The ancient idol, once per turn, when you would take wounds, you may prevent those wounds and lose the same number of sanity. The sanity loss cannot be prevented or reduced. So her killer instinct will go up pretty fast. And Peters has compulsive accumulating. Sounds like me. Whenever you reach an insanity mark, you will put 1 wound token on this card. And if you have less items and companions than the total number of tokens on this card, you will take stress equal to the difference. Otherwise, heal all of your stress. And he has a brass compass. When he runs, he can move 2 additional spaces, helping him heal his friends. We are going up against Tsathoggua. Now, I have sadness about Tsathoggua, as my Tsathoggua box arrived like this. Oh, all damage. I reached out to Simon, but I got this on eBay, so I'll get any assistance. But anywho, Tsathoggua. When an investigator gains a fatigue token, which are these little eyes we have over here, they place it in the leftmost space of their stress or wound track, permanently blocking that space. If the tentacle marker is already on the leftmost space, you must take a wound or a stress. If the tentacle marker is already... Oh, I see. You cannot remove your tentacle marker from the last stress space. Once per rest action, you may heal 1 less to discard 1 fatigue token before healing. Whenever Tsathoggua advances, we will choose an investigator to get a fatigue token. And then we will move each amorphous scion 1 space towards you and summon 1 at the nearest gate. Those cultists are in search of Nakai this turn, and we also have the amorphous... Oh, here, let me switch this thing. Here is Tsathoggua. He's like a giant frog, I guess. And then these are these amorphous scions that accompany Tsathoggua all around the map. And when an attacker, and this is what they look like in color, and when attacked by an investigator with a fatigue token, the wounds done will be reduced by 1. Our scenario is the Isle of the Damned. The small isle near Venice has been haven for the refugees in the Sixth since ancient times. Now it is their prison. They sent us here due to madness, like how they'll be sending people like me to wellness centers in a year or 2. Wellness. But the guards themselves are cultists, ready to use the oncoming storm for a ritual. We must stop them. In order to disrupt the ritual, any investigator must enter the spire. When the Elder One advances, each investigator will take 1 stress for each cultist in the spire. If the ritual was disrupted, we will move each cultist 1 space towards us. Otherwise, each cultist will move 2 spaces towards the spire and summon 1 cultist at the spire. Special rules. Whenever an investigator kills a cultist, they draw a key token from the pile without looking at it and place it face down on their investigator board. These tokens may be traded, but they are always kept face down. If an investigator dies, shuffle their keys back into the pile. Only cultists can pass through the lock tokens. For other enemies and investigators, treat the passages as walls for all purposes while the tokens are present. As an action, you can open a door, choosing a lock token in your space and 1 of your key tokens, flip both face up. If the numbers on the tokens match, remove both from the game. Otherwise, shuffle the key token into the pile and flip the lock face down. Or, as an action, you can start a riot. If there's no cultists in your space, you can make a roll, gain an extra green for each patient companion you have, and move the nearest cultist 1 space towards you for each success. So you can lure them back out of the tower. And then we have our monsters from this are the Fisher from outside and the Doll. The Fishers from outside, after attacking or being attacked for each star, that the investigator will take 1 stress. And the Doll, whenever this giant monstrosity of fishiness attacks, each success deals 2 wounds instead of 1. And To go along with the fishy theme, our unknown monster this time around is a deep one, which is from season 1. So I got my season 1 box out, got some deep ones on the table. If it deals any wounds, summon a deep if it deals any wounds, summon a deep one in its space. Whenever the Elder One advances, we will summon one deep one and one cultist at the farthest gate. Each deep one will move one space towards you. If there is any deep one available, the nearest cultist from the board will be removed and a deep one will be summoned instead. And that's really terrible for us here because it's important for us to kill cultists along our way. So with that, we are about ready to begin, and Sally is going to start her first turn. Ugh, I don't want to go through the dole at all. So yeah, so Sally's going to use her first action to move from that starting space into, I guess this is like a kitchen or a surgery or something like that. And she is going to go ahead and attack that cultist and try to start getting some of these keys, because getting these keys is what we gotta do. All right. She has rolled 2 successes and an insanity, so she will go ahead and take that insanity because we need some early on. We will kill the cultist, and because we killed the cultist, she gets one of these face down keys. For her second action, she's going to move back to the space where everybody else is, because when somebody else moves out of that space, she'll be able to follow for free anyway. And this way, at least everybody is closer together. We are going to draw the top Mythos card from the deck. I believe I shuffled these. Tireless Devotees. Each cultist will move one space towards you. Boom, 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 boom. And then you will take 1 stress for each enemy in your space, but there is none, and we will summon a cultist on the red gate back here. That was not so bad. We get our first discovery card, which is a maddened patient. Gibbering and drooling, eyes unblinking, speaking impossible words. You can take 1 wound to claim the maddened patient. If not, you would claim the paranoid condition. I mean, we're obviously going to take 1 wound and claim the maddened patient. Oh my goodness. For as long as Carl, the maddened patient, is with you, at the end of your turn, you will take 1 stress. But Carl has 3 health. What does paranoid do? At the end of your turn, if you're in the courtyard, take the patient companion side of his spot. Otherwise, take 1 stress minutes. Interesting. Okay. That's weird. So that at the end of her turn, she takes 1 stress because of Carl the maddened patient. Well, that's sad. Anywho, all right, moving on to Agatha, Miss Agatha. When an investigator kills a cultist, they draw a key token without looking at it and place it on their board. Okay, so Agatha can actually shoot the cultist who is next door in order to get the key, and that's pretty nifty. So that's what she's going to do. She is going to shoot the cultist next door. She's gotten 2 successes and 2 insanity. She's going to go ahead and just take that 2 insanity instead of risking a reroll. Go ahead and kill that cultist and get a key. She now can move. So she is going to move, and Sally gets to follow her automatically. So we're going to go into this room over here instead of dragging. Oh, she has stealth as well. So once when she moves, she can ignore her movement. So she's going to go all the way into the courtyard, and she's going to go ahead and shoot. When you run, you may sneak once. 1 enemy doesn't follow you. So she could run again and try to go through that door. Instead of shooting again. I think she's gonna. Is that what happens? No, we can use an action to open a door. So yeah, we're gonna try to kill the other cultist in our space, because killing cultists is good. We've gotten 2 successes and 1 madness. We're gonna re-roll one of those madnesses. It's not a madness anymore. So we've done 2 damage, gotten 1 insanity, killed another cultist, giving us 2 keys. And when we try to open a door, we choose 1 of the key tokens to open. Ooh, if I choose the wrong key, it goes back into the pile. That's scary. But that was my 3rd action. So I can go ahead and draw a Mythos card. Sleeper of Nakai. Choose an investigator to gain 1 fatigue token. So I'm going to give that fatigue token to Agatha because she's not going to go for the longest amount of time. She already has a stress on her stress check. Then the investigator with the most fatigue tokens takes 1 stress, 1 wound, and loses 1 sanity. So that is going to push her into madness. Because there's at least 1 investigator in her space, she heals all stress, and she's going to go ahead and level up her killer instinct by 1. And that goes there. There's no monsters in my space. I get to do a discovery. I found a blackjack. It's surprising how many of these supernatural creatures succumb to a simple blow on the head. I can take 2 stress to claim the blackjack, which will let me do 1 additional damage, 1 additional dice to a target in my space. And if I have a patient companion, I would get 2. I'm just going to take it because it's never bad to have items when I have the stress I can take to get said items. That is now the end of Agatha's turn, and we are going to move on to Peter's turn. Peter has swiftness, so he can run 1 additional space. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, taking that cultist into that room with him so that everybody is in the same room again. And he's going to attack with his brawling skill, which gives him an extra green. That was a absolutely terrible roll. We are going to re-roll at least 2 of these because I need to kill the cultist. That is 1 success. We're going to roll 1 more. We're going to roll 1 more, max out our stress. And we maxed out our stress to kill the cultist, claim that final key. And then for my final action, whenever you kill an enemy, heal 1 stress or wound on an investigator in your space. It can be yourself. I'm going to heal that 1 stress that I took before. And I think... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to use this key. So this door is a orange 4, and I have a green 3. So my green 3 goes back into the pool. The orange 4 goes back on here, and now I know... moving forward, that is a orange 4 key. Sadness, sadness, bow badness, banana, banana, bow fadness. Let's check out what the Mythos card is going to do. Lockdown. Move to the courtyard. I'm already there. And then move each monster 1 space towards you. So this goes 1, this goes 1, and this goes over here because they can move through doors. Oh no, only cultists can pass through locked doors, so that one's going to move around this way as well. Luckily, that was not a advancer. I found a lockpick set. At time, patience, and a mechanical advantage can open any door. You can take 2 stress to claim the lockpick set, however I can't because I only have 1 stress to take. What this would have done is when you open a door, instead of the usual action, you can make a roll. Get an extra green if you have stealth, and if you get 4 more successes, remove a lock in your space from the board. That would have been amazing, but I didn't get it, and that is sad, and that is what happened. So, moving on to Miss Sally Struthers. Sally Withers is going to go ahead and try to open this door. Her lock is a 2, and I needed a 4 if I recall, so she cannot open that door. It's very, very, very sad. Sad for her. Her second action is she's going to move over here and go ahead and kill this cultist to get back one of those things. And she rolls 2 successes and 2 insanity. She's going to take a stress to try to prevent one of that insanity. And she does. So she takes 1 sanity damage. Oh, she doesn't have to spend a stress. She gets 1 free reroll per turn. And she kills this cultist, and she's going to get one of these back. So it's going to be, I forgot what the other number I had was, but they both were not the right number. That I do know. Okay. So... Okay. We're going to draw a Mythos card. Uh-oh, bad things are going to happen now, but there's a fissure from the outside. We're going to move each fissure from the outside 2 spaces towards us. 1, 2. If you have the paranoid condition, they teleport immediately into your space, so it's good that I didn't do that. And we're going to summon a fissure from the outside on yellow. That's not so bad. No monsters in my space I get to discover. Reducing irritability and excitement, I found a sedative. I can claim the sedative. When investigating, you may claim patient companions without taking stress or wounds. You also don't take wounds from the Lash Out Mythos card, so that's nice. However, we still need to do an advancement of Tsathoggua. we're going to choose an investigator, gain a fatigue token. We're going to give that fatigue token to Sally since she's not going to go for the longest amount of time. And move each amorphous scion one space towards you. There is none, but we are going to summon one at the nearest gate. So an amorphous scion summons directly on top of poor Miss Sally. That's very sad. And because it's advanced, each investigator will take 1 stress for each cultist in the spire. Luckily, there is none. Every cultist moves 2 spaces towards the spire. That's 1, 2, 1, 2. And we summon a cultist on the spire. So that's gonna start to be really nasty really fast. We have to move through this one quickly, it seems. We're gonna shuffle this back into the deck, and now it is the end of. Oh wait, when do I take the stress? I take the stress before the movement, so I don't take it this turn. And otherwise, at the end of your, she must take 1 stress at the end of her turn because of Carl the Mad Impatient following her around. That's very sad as well. And then we are going to move on to Agatha. Now, Agatha could be shooting at these monsters and helping her friends out, but what Agatha is going to do instead is try to open the store because we need to move forward. So we have revealed key number 1, which is, of course, the worst key, the key that I don't need. And finally, of course, because I'm me, my final open doors action was to reveal key number 4, which was the correct key to move. She is going to go ahead and shoot at the amorphous. No, she's not. She's not going to do that because she will do 1 less wound anyway and will not be able to kill it. Oh, but she could, because she could take a wound to do an additional 2 damage. But I also do not have enough stress to handle life, so I'm going to use a heal action to heal 2 stress and remove 1 fatigue. And that was her 3rd action, so we're going to go and draw a Mythos card. Sleeper of Nakai. Choose an investigator, gain 1 fatigue token. We're just going to go ahead and give that to Sally because she's already in trouble and whatever. Then the investigator with the most fatigue tokens, which is her, takes 1 stress, 1 wound, and loses 1 sanity. So Sally, our support person, is just in bad shape. Good news is I get to do a discovery, and I have found a medical bag. Everything you need to patch yourself up, or at least deaden the pain. I may claim the medical bag, or discard it to heal all my wounds. I'm going to claim it. Once per turn as a free action, heal 1 wound from you or 1 other investigator in your space. That's going to be so useful later on. I'm so excited about it. But that is, of course, the end of my turn. So we are moving on to Peters. Peters does not have a key, which is sad. And all the cultists are up in La La Land. He could go help Sally, but I feel like we really need to worry about these keys more than anything. So we are going to go ahead and start a riot. So there is no patient companion, so I just roll 3 dice. We're going to start a riot. We want 3 successes. We've got 2 successes and 2 insanity. We're just going to let that 2 insanity come. Take the 2 successes to move this cultist here. Our second action will be to move to this space, and our third action will be to try to kill it. So we're going to have to use the strats again because Peter is just really bad at killing things, and he has done only 1 damage to the cultist space with his 3. And that was lame. But what he could have done and should have done is he could have ran through that room. No, he'll have. When he ran, he would have done this and taken the cultist back with him to move it further from the spire. I'm going to say that. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and shoot, that was it. We're going to reveal a Mythos card. Move to the courtyard on there, then move each monster 1 space towards you. This comes here, this comes here, this comes here, this comes here. Oh, I forgot. When I did this, I was supposed to summon this at the farthest gate, which would have been this gate, and then move the deep one here. So that would now be here, but there was no cultist. Oh, we would have removed the nearest cultist from the board. So there's just a lot of deep ones Oh no, it would have been the nearest cultist to us. Well, we're gonna retcon that. We're not gonna retcon that because I don't have time. I don't have time. That's why. But there's absolutely no goodness happening here. The cultist is going to attack me and do 1 damage, and and I don't have toughness. I don't have any more stress. That's bad. Poor doctor. And then the Fissure from the Beyond is going to, and that is going to do 3 damage to me, which I can't prevent. And I don't have any. That's terrible. That was absolutely awful, and things are very bad. Sally is by herself with this cultist. Just got to get to that tower. I'm just got to get to that tower. Which else does this thing have? I have a fatigue token, so this is going to take less damage from me. All right, I am going to go ahead and move into this space with everybody else as my first action. As my second action, I am going to attack the cultist to finish it off. I have. I'm not risking re-rolling dice because I don't have enough stress. So I've killed the cultist and taken 2 sanity. If there are no monsters in your space, move the nearest monster to your space. Otherwise, move 1 monster in your space 1 or 2 spaces away. So we're going to go ahead and move that amorphous scion backwards as we kill the cultist, take the key. Oops. That all worked out really well, actually. Oh, I get 1 free reroll per turn, so I will try to reroll one of those insanities and succeed at it. But I am going to. I'm going to go ahead and raise Avid Photographer by 1, giving every investigator in my space an extra green. I still have 1 more action, which is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and attack the Fissure from the outside. Is what I'm going to do. That was absolutely terrible. I get 1 free reroll per turn, so we'll reroll this. Okay. I'm gonna roll this. Okay. Now I've gotten 2 hits, which is not enough to kill it. However, after attacking or being attacked, for each star, the investigator takes 1 stress. I don't even have any stress to take. I'm just in a poopy position, and that's where I am. So, yeah, we're going to draw a Mythos card. Thunder. Each investigator who is paranoid takes 2 stress. None are paranoid. Obviously, you just never have stress to use for anything in this because you're going wildly insane. The amorphous scion is going to attack Sally. Sally has no stress to prevent anything, takes 1 damage. Absolutely terrible. Everything is terrible. Everything is awful. And Sally's the only one who has keys. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, first things first. Sally absolutely needs to kill this monster. So we're going to roll 3 black dice. We get an extra green one because of what's on this space. Oh, as a free action, I can heal 1 wound from an investigator in my space. So I'm going to, as an extra action, heal Peter for 1. I'm going to roll these dice. That's the 2 more damage that I need to kill this. I'm not going to use rerolls for anything. I'm just going to take the win. Taking the win. This is sad because... Oh. There's no cultists in my space, so I can start a riot and get some of those out of there. So we're going to start a riot. That is... I'm going to reroll this one. Okay, that's 2 successes, so we get to move one of these cultists 2 spaces out of there. And then for my final action, we will start a riot again. And we'll use... we're not going to use a stress on that. We take an insanity, and we're going to move this cultist 1 more space this way out of that space. Ew, this is terrible. Lash out. Each investigator takes 1 wound for each patient companion they have. These wounds cannot be given to companions. Sally's immune to lash out, so that's good. Investigators may take the paranoid condition side of one of their patient companions to prevent all wounds. That actually doesn't do anything to me, which is lovely. I get to draw a card. Talkative patient. Maddening words spoken at an insane pace. Listen if you dare. You can take 2 stress to claim the talkative patient or claim paranoid. We're going to take 2 stress. Claim the talkative patient. You get 1 free start a riot action each turn. That's going to actually be fantastic. Thank you, Daniel. However, that was number 3, so Tsathoggua is going to move forward. When Tsathoggua advances, we're going to choose 1 investigator to get a fatigue token. We're going to go ahead and give that fatigue token to Sally, because why not? She can just rest eventually. And we move each amorphous scion 1 space towards you. We summon an amorphous scion at the nearest gate. We're going to get out of there soon. Each investigator takes 1 stress for each cultist at the spire. They're all maxed on stress anyway. Then each cultist will move 2 spaces towards the spire, and we will summon 1 cultist at the spire. Absolutely terrible. Then we will summon 1 deep one and 1 cultist at the farthest gate, which is, oh no, that's now closer because that door is gone. So it's this gate. It's very close for being the farthest. Each deep one moves 1 space towards you. Then, if there's any deep ones available, remove the nearest cultist from the board and replace them with a deep one. This deep one, unknown monster, was absolutely the worst thing that could happen to us in this scenario, it feels like. Absolutely terrible, absolutely awful and terrible and terrible and awful and yada yada yada. Okay, Peters, Pumpkin Eaters. Peters, Pumpkin Eaters, unfortunately just cannot do much with his turn. He is just too wounded. He's going to heal 3 wounds. He's going to heal 3 stress, and he's going to move, and Sally's going to follow him over to here, and that is literally all that Peters is doing. Poor Peters did nothing with his turn. Ran straight into the locked door. Absolutely awful. And we're going to draw a Mythos card, and it is an amorphous scion. The nearest amorphous scion moves 2 spaces towards the investigator with the most fatigue tokens, which is Sally. So it's actually going to run straight through Agatha's space into here. That's not so bad. We would summon an amorphous scion on yellow, but there are no amorphous scions to study. We get a discovery card for Peters. Peters found a violent patient. Angry, staring and mad, and where she is well armed. You can take 1 wound to claim her, and whenever you have her, you get level 1 marksman. Okay, I'll take 1 wound to claim her and get level 1 marksman. Works for me. That's the end of the turn there. Moving on to Sally's turn. Luckily, there's no monsters on Sally's space, but Sally does have some keys. So let's start with trying to unlock door 1 with key 3. Then we'll try to unlock door 1 with key 2. So of course I had every key except for the correct key, which is key 1. And my final action is going to be to heal 2 wounds and 1 stress. That sucked. That sucked so bad. So what we've learned is we need to get all the keys instead of just wasting our time. But we're going to draw a Mythos card. Fisher from outside. Move each Fisher from outside 2 spaces towards you. That's terrible. Then, if you have Paranoid, which you don't, we will summon a Fisher from outside at yellow, which is literally right here. And then the Fisher from outside will attack me with 2 green and a black and do 1 damage to me. I will try to get rid of it. And I got a star, which means I will take 1 stress at the end of the turn, but there's no stress to take, but at least I didn't take any damage. And that is the end of Sally's turn. Poor Sally. Okay. Has stealth, so she can run straight through this amorphous sign. She will then attack the Fisher in her space. She gets to roll 2 extra green because of things she has that I'm not going to explain and talk out. That is 2 damage. We need 3 damage to kill the thing. I can, oh wait. Let's just say my first action would have been to heal 3 stress because it should have been. Then I can take 1 stress to deal 1 additional wound, which will kill the Fisher. And we're just saying that happened. I don't care if I'm cheating. That's literally what we're gonna say happens, and I just don't care. And then I get one free start a riot action each turn, and I'm gonna get to roll. Ooh, two extra greens for that. So I get that's bad. We're gonna let the insanity happen. That's fine. I got one success, so we're gonna go ahead and move one of those out of that church, and that was my free action, and I get two sanity. There's at least one investigator in my space, so I heal all stress, and I get to lower. I get to raise something else, so we're gonna go ahead and raise Killer Instinct again, and then draw a Mythos card. Things are not looking good. Dull, move Dull two spaces towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Dull's coming back to here. Screw that, Dull. There's no monsters in my space. Observe Impatient. An arched gaze and judging eye, you are being studied. You may take one stress to claim the observant patient. From now on, you may heal one stress to when you draw a discovery card before you resolve. You may heal one stress when you draw a discovery card before resolving it. That's pretty fantastic. Bad news is Tsathoggua advances. We're just going to keep giving these fatigue tokens to Sally because she just kind of stands there anyway. And each amorphous sign is going to move one space towards us, so one is now on our space. Each investigator takes one stress for every cultist on the spire, so that's one stress for Agatha, one stress for Peters, and these all move back to the spire and summon another cultist on the spire. And we don't have keys, we don't have cultists, everything is terrible. We are going to summon a deep one. We can't summon a deep one, and the cultist at the farthest gate. Each deep one is going to move one space towards us, so these come here. These come here, this comes here. We actually kind of have to keep those on the board because that's the only way we will make any progress in this game. We have a lot of bad stuff in our space, so we're just going to have Peters do some fighting to try to kill some of these things off, I suppose. Yeah, that looks like that's going to happen. So let's start with the amorphous scion, I think. The other option is to try to just open that door and take the hits, but I don't feel like he can do that. Sally can do that because she's tough. Okay. So we're going to start with attacking the amorphous scion. I don't have any fatigue tokens, so I don't lose anything. I'm on Sally's space, so I get an extra green. And that is 1, 2, 3 with 2 sanity. We're just going to take it. We're going to kill the amorphous scion. Take 2 sanity. I'm going to put a token on this card. I have 1 companion, so I heal all of my stress. That's cool. And whenever I kill an enemy, I can heal 1 stress or wound on an investigator in my space. So we're going to go ahead and heal 1 stress from Agatha. And then I'm going to go ahead and attack the deep one. 1, 2. I'm going to take a stress to reroll one of these. Yes, now I have 3 hits and 1 sanity. We kill the deep one. I get to heal 1 wound or 1 stress of somebody on my space. I'm going to heal my wound just in case monsters happen. And then I get to make a phone call and try to get some of these patients to come join us here. And I got 1, 2, 3 successes and 1 insanity. I'll just take the insanity, move occultist 3 spaces towards me so I can at least somebody else will be able to do something on their next turn. We draw a Mythos card, Tsathogua's Presence. If Tsathoggua is on the board, take 2 stress. He's not. If Tsathoggua is on the track, each investigator, all 3 of them, gets a fatigue token. So we're going to go ahead and give Sally a fatigue token that she's going to really need to deal with. And we're going to give both Agatha and Peters fatigue tokens. Well, that sucked. Then nothing. Oh, there is. I moved a cultist to our space, so I don't get to do a discovery, and that cultist does 1 damage to me. I'm just going to take it, and that is the end of that turn. And we go on to Sally's turn. Oh, Sally. Sally is going to attack the cultist. Gaining 1 insanity. Oh, I get to reroll them back. Oh, that's per turn. Yeah, I'm just going to gain the 1 insanity. She's going to take her second action to attack the cultists. We're serious? She's going to use her free reroll on this one. Nope. She does she does 1 damage to the cultist and gets an insanity. And then for her final action, she's going to attack the cultist, get another insanity, finally kills it. That was absolutely ridiculous. And she goes more insane. There's no monsters in her space, so she moves the nearest monster to her space. Wow. Okay, and she gets to level up a thing. We're going to level up toughness because she's almost dead. Well, that was awful. And now we roll Mythos. If the ritual is disrupted, each cultist moves 2 spaces towards you. Otherwise, move them 2 spaces towards the spire. There's no cultist on the board. At least that didn't do anything. But this Fisher from Beyond is going to attack me and does 2 damage. I can reduce one of those, so I take 1 damage and I gain 1 insanity. And that's the end of Sally's turn. That was terrible. That could not have been worse. I get 1 free start a riot action each turn, so we're going to start our turn with that. Because, yeah. We have rolled 1, 2. I need a 3rd. So we're going to reroll this. Yes! 3. So I get to move the cultist 3 spaces towards me. I do gain 1 insanity. That is fine. That was a free action. So now I can go ahead and attack the cultist in my space. 1, 2, 3. That is a dead cultist. I get a key. I'm going to wait till I have all 3 keys to try to open the door this time because I'm not going to be silly. And then I will go ahead. Oh, I get an extra, which I missed a green I should have gotten. But anyway, we're going to try to kill this monster now. We did 1, 2, 3 damage to it, which is enough to kill it. So that is dead. I rolled 2 stars, so I have to take 2 stress from that. And yeah, okay. So Mythos card. Thunder. Each investigator who's paranoid takes 2 stress. None of them are paranoid. I do get to draw a card, but I probably won't be able to take it. Quiet patient. They do not speak, but only stare. Their grin is permanent, both broad and hungry. I don't have stress to take, so I can't claim the patient. So I am now paranoid at the end of my turn. If I'm in the courtyard, I will switch this to the patient side. Otherwise, I will take 1 stress and sanity at the end of each of my turns. It would give me 1 free stealth. And that is the end of my turn. So I take 1 stress and 1 sanity. Oh, she's gonna die. Oh man, that is rough. All right, well, on to Peter's turn. Peters is going to try to incite a riot. Rolling 1, 2, 3 successes, so at least he got successes. We get to move 1 of these here. Now I get to attack it, which is going to give me 2 of these. That is, and yet again, I have to take a stress because I can't even kill a cultist with this guy, which is ridiculous. Okay, now the cultist is dead. I have all 3 keys. Whenever I kill an enemy, I can heal 1 wound or stress of an investigator at my space. I am going to heal a wound from Sally. And then I'm going to use my key on the door. It's key number 2, not the key I need, but we know one of the other 2 characters now has the key we need. Fisher from outside. Move each fisher from outside 2 spaces towards you. They are dead, so that doesn't happen, but 1 does summon here. I do get to draw a discovery card. A handgun. Ranged death in the palm of your hand. You can take 2 stress to claim the handgun. You get an additional 2, 1 when attacking, and because I have a level 1 marksman skill because of Samara, the violent patient, I will get 2. I forgot to take my little card, reminding me that I am now a marksman. Okay. That wasn't so bad. That was actually quite good. Okay. Sally's turn. First of all, Sally is going to heal 2 stress and 1 fatigue. She's going to use her key on the door. It is also the wrong key because I have the worst luck in the world. She's going to use her third action to heal 2 fatigue and 1 stress. That is literally all she's doing because, yeah. Divine Slothfulness. Gain 1 fatigue token. Then, if any investigator has 4 or more, luckily she only has 3, so I ignore the second part of that, and that badness doesn't happen yet. So that's good. We get a discovery. Questionable methods breed questionable results. You can take the paranoid condition side of one of your patients to claim the doctor, or you can claim the scalpel. When you have the doctor, you may look at the lock tokens in your space and your keys. I'm going to go ahead and take the paranoid side of this in order to be able to do that. I feel like that is very good. The problem here is at the end of my turn, I take 1 stress and 1 sanity. But that's okay. Moving on to Agatha's turn. We know this is the right key this time. It is key number 1. It is key number 1. Woo, that was 1 action. Action 2, she gets to do a free Incite a Riot. That is 1, 2, 3, and an insanity. That's fine. 1, 2, 3. She's gone more insane. There's an investigator in my space, so I heal all of my stress. And we are going to raise... Yeah, we'll just go ahead and finish maxing out that. And then my third action is going to be to kill the cultist in my space. Before I get another one of these. That is more than enough hits. I'm going to go ahead and take that insanity, kill the cultist, get a key. 1 key left. That was my third action. That's the end of my turn. Okay. And we have Lash Out. Each investigator takes 1 wound for each patient companion they have, except for Sally. So you take a wound, and you take a wound. Investigators may take the paranoid side of one of their patients to prevent all of those wounds. Oh, Agatha actually takes 2 wounds. But I can take 1 sanity. Oh, no, that's the whole loss of things. Yeah, she's going to have to take the 2 wounds. Oh, well, shit happens. We do get a discovery. I get to heal 1 stress, but I can't. Woman in White. A ghostly presence, a terrifying enemy and ally, or both. You can take 2 stress to gain the Woman in White and get Arcane Mastery. Yeah, I'll take 2 stress to get the Woman in White and get Arcane Mastery. She was in the first scenario, too. I wonder if this is a thing. I don't know. All right, anywho, where are we? Oh, Tsathoggua advances. Tsathoggua actually appears now. So Tsathoggua appears in our space. 1 amorphous scion spawns at the nearest gate. Wow. Okay. Well, we tried. 1 investigator is going to get a fatigue. We'll give that to Agatha, I guess. Each amorphous scion moves 1 space towards you. That's great. Choose an investigator to get 1 fatigue unless they discard 1 item or companion. Oh, she could have healed 1 wound every round from somebody. So let's just say he was healed because I forgot about that. We can discard 1 thing, or we'll get a fatigue. Let's just give another fatigue to Agatha. Each cultist moves towards the spire. There are no cultists. We summon 1 cultist at the spire. We summon 1 deep one and 1 cultist at the farthest gate. Each deep one moves 1 space towards us. Nearest cultist becomes... Oh, there's no deep one, so it doesn't become a deep one. Okay. All right. Well, all that happened. It's the end of my turn. What happens? At the end of my turn, take 1 stress and 1 sanity. Oh my god, we're going to die. Terrible. Who has keys? Agatha has a key. Peters does not have a key. Peters does not have stealth. Peters does not have anything. Everything is awful. Everything's terrible when you're a person. Everything is awful. Oh, this scenario is tough. Tsathoggua is tough. All of this is so... This is tough. We're going to die. We're definitely going to die in the next 27 minutes. It's going to be great. But Peters gets to start his turn. Cool. Peters, we're going to start with attacking the amorphous scion. I get 1, 2, 3 extra blue, 4 extra blue. So at least I get a lot of stuff. All right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 1 is 4. That's enough to kill that. And whenever I kill something in my space, I can heal 1 stress or wound on an investigator in my space, including myself. We're going to go ahead and heal that 1 wound on Agatha. Second action is going to be to incite a riot, I think. 1, 2, and insanity. I don't have any stress to gain. Okay. This ends up moving here. I get 1 insanity. I add a wound to this card. I have enough stuff so I heal all of my stress. And I get to raise... Oh, I forgot to raise one of my things the first time. So this should have been here. So that means I would now have healed the total health of blah, blah, blah. So if I would have healed all of that, then I will raise that again. That was my third action. I attacked. No, I think it wasn't my third action. I attacked. I incited a riot. I'm going to go ahead and just move here because that's going to end up happening either way, I guess, because I'm not going to be able to search with him attached to me. Oh, shoot. Nearest one of these moves 2 spaces and lash out. Each investigator takes 1 wound for each patient companion they have. So Agatha would take 2 wounds. That's fine. You would take 1 wound. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Right. And then things are going to attack me. Tsathoggua attacks with 2 green and a black. That is 1 damage and 1 horror. And then the cultist attacks with 2 green. That is 1 damage. We'll just take it. And, well, no, that's probably not a good idea. We're going to try to stop that damage because I'm realizing I'm never going to get to heal again because there's always going to be shit in the spaces. All right. Moving on to Sally. Sally, what the hell are you going to do? What you going to do, Sally? What you going to do? Sally's just in the poop. Ah, correct. Sally is going to move 1 space to here. We're going to look at what lock this is. We know that's lock number 2. Sally is going to kill the cultist in her space. We hope. We're not very good at that. Oh, good, I did it. I kill the cultist. I get this key. I can always see what it is. It is key number 2, so we're going to use key number 2 to open that. That is action 3. We are almost at the spire. We are slaying the spire, as they say. All right, Mythos card. Ceremonial possession. Move each cultist 2 spaces towards the spire. No problem. Tsathoggua attacks me. Gosh. I will take 1 damage and 1 horror. The cultist attacks me. I will use this and my free reroll this turn. I take 1 more damage. I prevent damage from each time I take wounds because I'm tough. So I still have full health. Okay. End of turn. Nothing. I take 1 stress and 1 sanity because of being paranoid. There are monsters in my space, so I move 1 monster 1 or 2 spaces away. Cool. That was nice. Okay, Agatha Harkness. Agatha has the final key. So Agatha can run straight through here because she has sneak 1. So she's going to run straight through here with her first action. Her second action is going to be to heal 2 wounds and 1 stress. Her final action is going to be to open the spire. The ritual. Oh, in order to end, I must enter the spire. That was 1, 2. Okay, she's not going to heal because instead she is going to use her final action to enter the spire, disrupting the ritual. So the ritual has now been disrupted. we can now start to attack the baddie. That's cool. Oh, once per turn is a free action. Heal 1 wound from you or another investigator in my space. That's going to be me. Okay. So, she reached 3 and I forgot to flip the Ancient Idol. The Ancient Idol has become a Relia fragment. It is now when you would take wounds, you may prevent those wounds and lose the same number of sanity. The sanity loss cannot be prevented. So instead of once per turn, and the lucky coin has become a charmed doubloon where I get 1 free reroll per roll. So this would have changed a lot of stuff, but it doesn't really matter right now. We're just going to forge onwards. Forging onwards. Okay, it is Peter's turn. Peter is in the space where he can attack the thing. So that's pretty good. Okay, great. Peters is going to attack Tsathoggua. I get 3 of that. I get 2 green from that. I get 1 green from that, 1 green from that, 1 green from Brawl. Lots of stuff. Kill the boss. And I have rolled shit, basically. Let's re-roll these. Try to do as much damage as possible. Okay, so there's one. All right, so I have rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes now in 1 sanity. So that is 5 hits on Tsathoggua. That was my first action. For my second action, I'm going to roll all those dice again. And I got 2 hits. Amazing. And I lose a sanity. So that means I have to add a token here. I now take stress, but I'm at my maximum stress. I get to raise one of these things by 1. We're going to do this. No. Yeah. No. Yeah, we're going to do this. And my brass compass becomes an otherworldly compass. When you run, you may move 2 additional spaces, and you may sneak past an enemy up to 3 additional times. It does not follow you. Oh, that's cool. So I can run away from it now. But I'm not going to. I'm going to use my third and final action to try to kill the thing. I think who lives in there. Try to kill the thing. That time I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 successes and a madness. That is 7 plus 4 is 11. So I am still 1 short, which is just silly, but whatever. Okay. Thunder. Each investigator who is paranoid gains 2 stress. I mean, they're all maxed out on stress anyway. That doesn't really do nothing. And then Tsathoggua is going to attack me and do 1 damage and 1 horror. I'm going to go insane again. So I'm going to have maximum stress, but I do get to raise one of these things. That'll give me a free run action each turn, which I could have used to run away, and that would be smart from now on, but I'm going to die anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, Sally. Well, might as well try to do that 1 damage to kill the thing. I did enough damage to kill it. That's pretty cool. Okay. So we're going to move Tsathoggua to stage 3. Stage 3 of Tsathoggua. When revealed, move Tsathoggua to the yellow gate. Okay, at least he's close by. Each investigator gains 1 fatigue unless they gain 2 stress. Nobody can gain stress, so everybody gets fatigue. So that's a fatigue for you, and a fatigue for you, and a fatigue for you. Yay, look at all that fatigue. And now at the end of each turn, there will be more badness. Cool, that was my first action. So for my second, she doesn't even have nothing to heal with. It's so silly. All right, so for her second action, she's going to run over here and she's going to attack again. Useless, what she is. I do 2 damage and gain 2 sanity. 2 damage. All right, great. Mythos phase. Tsathoggwa's pregnant. Tsathoggwa's on the board. You take 2 stress. I can't because I can't take that. I take 2 wounds instead. Okay, so she's going to die is what we're saying. Tsathoggua is going to attack her. Oh, I get to prevent one of those wounds because of toughness. Okay, so Tsathoggua is going to attack with a lot of dice. Doing 2 wounds and 1 sanity. I get to prevent one of those wounds. She does go more insane. There are monsters in my space, so I can move 1-2 spaces away, which is nice. That actually will stop me from dying. And that's never going to happen. So let's just let's increase this to try to do some more damage on her last and final attack. Luckily, the thingy doesn't advance, so we go on to Agatha's turn. Agatha's going to move over here. She can attack from 1 space away, so she's fine to do that. We're going to go ahead and, before rolling those, reduce our, do 1 heal, and then she will attack. So she is going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4. And all of my attacks will deal 2 additional wounds. So that's a hit. So I got 2 wounds plus 2 from my ability is 4. So we're up to 6. And I get 1 insanity. There is no investigator in my space, so I take 2 stress. Then I heal 1 stress for each companion I have, which is 2. Because I went wild again, I'm going to increase marksman so I can do more damage the next time. That's it for her. And the nearest amorphous scion moves 2 spaces towards the investigator with the most fatigue token. So it's going to go all the way into this space. Then we summon an amorphous scion here because, of course, everything's going to be summoned there. I do get a discovery and I get to heal a stress first, but I have no stress to heal. There's a portly patient who loves hugs. I can take 1 stress to claim the portly patient, which I will do. Elder One advances. Okay, we're going to choose an investigator to gain 1 fatigue token. That will be Peter's. Each amorphous scion will move 1 space towards me. Is there another one on the board? Yes. Okay, an investigator will gain 1 fatigue token unless they discard 1 item or companion. We'll give another fatigue token to Agatha because she's not going to go for a while. The investigator with the most fatigue tokens, which is either Agatha or Sally, would take 1 stress, 1 wound, and lose 1 sanity. I can prevent wounds. So I can prevent 1 wound for her. So we'll have it let it be Sally. And then okay, so this cultist is going to move towards the spire. We are going to there's no deep ones to summon. Every deep one is going to move 1 space closer to me. Things are nasty, and it is Peter the Surgeon's turn. All right, so Peter the Surgeon, first action is going to be to heal 2 wounds and 1 stress. Second action, I can sneak 3 times. So we're going to go ahead and sneak into the room with Tsathoggua so that we can spread those monsters out a little bit. And then I'm going to attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get to roll 1 more die past the dice that I have. And this one. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to do 6. And I rolled. All right, well, that's 4 hits. And I gain 2 insanity. And then I have 1 more attack, so I should be able to finish off stage 3 at least before I die. I got 1 hit, rolling all of those dice. Oh wait, no, because I forgot I had 6 dice. Okay, so that is enough. Stage 4, Tsathoggua. Move Tsathoggua to the starting space. Well, that sucks. Then each investigator gains 2 fatigue tokens. That's 1, that's 2. That's 1. That's 2. That's 1. That's 2. Any one investigator may die, basically, to stop that effect and fully sacrifice themselves. Well, that's fun. And then more shit's gonna happen, and it's gonna be really bad. Okay. But I killed it. I killed it. Oh, I forgot to shuffle this when I did this last time, so we're gonna shuffle this now. I have exactly 11 minutes to finish this scenario and use the bathroom. So this is gonna be pretty wild. Pretty wild. We're gonna speed this up. We're gonna speed this up. We can do it. 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 Okay. Let's see. We've got lash out. Each investigator takes 1 wound for each patient companion they have. Sally is immune to that. Agatha would take 3 wounds. I can prevent that and take 3 insanity instead. There is no investigator in her space, so she would take 2 stress and then heal 1 stress for each thing she has. But she does get to increase 1 of her things 1 more time, which will be increasing the stealth ability so that she can sneak more. And you will take 1 wound. Okay. Then we move on to... What was that? That was Peter's turn. Peter's going to get attacked by both of these things in his space. So we're going to get attacked by an amorphous scion, which might kill me. That is 2 damage. We're going to re-roll 1 of those. Okay, that is 1 damage, so I'm still kicking. And then we will roll for the deep one, which is 1 green and 1 black. And it was a miss, so I didn't die. End of turn. Great. Sally's going to go. Oh my god, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do this. Okay, so what has Sally got? Sally's got absolutely nothing. Sally's going to run straight into the room with Tsathoggua, and all of these monsters are going to be in this room with her. We avoided that dole the whole time, which is pretty cool. We get 3 dice, plus 1, 2. That's it. We get a bunch of nothing for her to roll, but whatever. She rolls 1, 2, 3 successes and gains 1 sanity, so that is 3 damage to Tsathoggua. She's going to do it again. Oh, she gets 1 free reroll per roll. Ah, that would have been another 2 successes. Nice. Nice. Maybe we will do this. Maybe we will do this. That's 5. We need to do 7 more damage and we can kill the boss. All right, she got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more successes. So that brings us up to 10. 2 more damage to kill the boss. Her insanity goes up again. There are monsters in her space. I could choose 1 monster to move 2 spaces away. It's going to be that big nasty one because it looks nasty. Oh wait, do I get a free reroll? I do, but those were all hits, so it doesn't matter. I moved that there. I got 1 more insanity. We're going to raise our toughness again to try to survive this turn. Great. We're going to reveal this card, Cult of Nakai. Each investigator with at least 1 fatigue token summon a cultist at their space. Cultist, cultist, cultist. That is done. No advancement there. Let's, to get the least number of rolls we're going to have to do, we're going to start our rolls with our big guy, Tsathoggua. Tsathoggua does 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. I can prevent 1 of that. I can re-roll 1. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3 damage. I can prevent 1 of that. That's 1, 2, 3. Doctor is dead. She is still alive and kicking. Great. Okay. Then we will have the amorphous scion go next. And it will do 1 damage, which she prevents. Then we will have the Fisher from the outside go. That is 3 damage. We get 1 free reroll. Still 3 damage. And that's it for Sally. Okay. Nice try, Sally. The good news is, because Sally died, that's the end of the turn. Okay, next we have Agatha. Agatha can sneak 3 times when she runs. So that is 1 sneak, and that is 2 sneak. Yep. And then her second action is going to be to attack. So she rolls 3 dice, plus 2 from this, plus 1, 2, 3 from this. I think that's all of it. Yeah. And we just have to do 2 damage, and we've done enough, and we've killed Tsathoggua. It was so close. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did happen. We did it. That was a wildly tough scenario, but we pulled it out. I love how wild this game gets at the end. And it's like, you're like, la, la, la. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, we're doing okay. Oh, no, this is terrible. We're going to die. Oh, no, we killed them. I love me some Death May Die. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget, keep those health bars full. Thank you and have a great day.